Setting up your stock. First place to start, location. As you can see, you can have a max of 20 different locations. You simply type in the name of the location and then specify whether it is a bulk location or not. Bulk location regards to receiving bulk ingredients that you are then going to portion out and place in different locations. File, save. You've now added another location. The next step is to set up departments exactly as you would setting up your future POS selling items. As you can see, we've got our normal departments that we would use for our future POS items, and we have the additional ones for our ingredients. You would simply type in the description, and then you could create your own ingredient major groups, such as we've done with costing, liquor, and retail. To take it one step further, your ingredients need to be categorized. We have set up category maintenance for that. As you can see, there are quite a few different categories, and you can obviously use this as a sub-department. It's very simple. You literally just type in the description and you could put in a code. You then specify whether it is a costing ingredient or a selling. It could be both. There's also an option to put in a budget percentage for this category. File, save as. And you'll see it saved. Setting up suppliers is very simple. Open up supply maintenance. As you can see, we have quite a few that we've added. To add a new supplier, you can give them a supplier code. You can obviously put in an account number in regards to this account. Enter in the physical address, postal, follow the prompts. You can also put in a GL account code if you would like to export stock to Pastel. And obviously you can put in there a credit limit, a minimum order, and a maximum order amount. File, save as once you have completed your supplier. And you'll see it's been saved. From there, you can set up your ingredients. We have used our categories to set up a prefix for our ingredients just to make things easier to find. It's completely up to you how you would like to set up your ingredient maintenance. This is just simply a guide. If we open up an existing ingredient, you will see that it has a description, an item UPC description. All of the locations that you've created will now be shown here. If we click on storeroom, you'll see it's not assigned to the storeroom. If you would like to, you simply tick on the assign location tick box and file save. If we go back and check, we now see it's assigned to the storeroom. Departments come into use here and further categorized. We then select our supplier, let's select the new one we created. There are various units of measure that you can use for this ingredient. You could also specify the units per package and the packages per case. Enter in your cost per unit, and if you'd like, your retail per unit, if it is a selling ingredient as well. There's an option to set up your reorder levels. Simply type it in. And your reorder quantity. Tax flags, whether it's VAT or zero VAT, and also whether this ingredient is an expense, such as an advertising or accounting. That could be set up as an ingredient to go through your books, but be set up as an expense. All of your locations will obviously pop up for default receiving location and the affected selling location. Let's change that to storeroom, and we'll leave affected selling location as restaurant. Production types come in handy. If you are doing portioning, you would need to set up your ingredients correctly. So avocado would be set up as a prep ingredient. If you were receiving in a leg of lamb, you would then specify that it would be a butcher bulk ingredient so that you could portion out this leg of lamb at a later stage. Right now, our avocado is a prep ingredient. There's an adjust quantity in stock option. As you can see, we are negative figures in the storeroom. You can add quantity, amount to quantity, subtract or change the quantity. Let's change the quantity to 50 units. As you can see, in our storeroom we now have a total of 50 units. If we go to our storeroom, we have negative figures. Let's adjust the stock there too. File, save, just to be sure. There's a transfer stock option. As long as you have two locations assigned to an ingredient, you can transfer stock. Let's transfer from the restaurant to the storeroom. As you can see, we now have 80 units in the restaurant and 120 in the storeroom. Setting up a butcher bulk ingredient, as you can see we have T-bone, which you receive in this bulk, kilograms. It's assigned to the restaurant, and we're going to assign it to the storeroom as well. We're going to specify that it is a butcher bulk ingredient. Let's adjust our quantity in stock. 50 units in the storeroom, and we're going to save that. In regards to manufactured items, let's find a manufactured item. We have pizza dough that is a manufactured item. Set up exactly the same as all the ingredients. It's just the manufactured item box that is ticked, and you specify which production location it is in. File, save. We'll get back to ingredient manufactured items at a later stage. There are two steps to setting up a manufactured item. I'm doing a video, but now you just... There are two steps to setting up a bulk issue and portioning out items. First would be obviously to specify whether your ingredient is a prep ingredient, whether it's going to be portioned out from a larger item. And as before, looking at our T-bone, specifying that it is the bulk or butcher ingredient. Once you've done that, you open up prep allocation. All of the items that you have specified that are bulk items will pop up. As you can see, we have quite a few. Even shows which category they are assigned to. Bacon is a portionable item. If we click on portion, you'll see from there we get a portion of bacon. If you would like to add to this list, you simply click on ingredient description and all of your ingredients that are specified as prep ingredients will appear here. Let's add a portion of back bacon. It's simply that simple. You can also delete prep ingredients from there. The next step is bulk issue. If you want to display 0 negative ingredients, simply say yes. As you can see, bacon is the first one on the list. First step, we've received in stock. What is the weight that we are issuing to the kitchen? Let's say it's 50 kgs. Click away from that and you'll see issue and transfer now appear. We click on issue. All of the prep ingredients that are created from this bulk bacon appear here. We have back bacon. You could simply get the kitchen to tell you exactly what quantity they received from this. Say it's 50 portions, and the weight we got was 48.2 kgs. Our average weight per portion is then shown here, and this is our waste lost up here. Save that. You can see now you've done an issue as it's changed to purple. From there we want to transfer this out to the relevant locations. We're going to transfer 40 quantities, 40 portions of our back bacon. If you had more than one location for this back bacon it was assigned to, you'd be able to click on location and specify which location you're transferring it to. Once that's done, simply update. Items. Click on ingredient manufacturing. If you would like to calculate the reorder level, yes or no. From here, we can see that we have pizza dough that is set up as a manufactured item. The serving or the yield that we will get and our quantity available. If we click on view, we are opening up the ingredient, the recipe for our manufactured item. If you would like to add to this, you simply click on ingredient description and you could add the ingredient or edit the quantity. If you would like to remove it, simply delete. Save once you have edited that. You could also print this and email it off. You would type in the quantity to prepare. Let's say we want to create 50 and update it. You'll see from there you'll get a report showing who authorized the manufacturing of this ingredient, the servings and the quantity prepared. From there you could export it or print it for your kitchen or for your records. Let's move on to setting up our recipes. We'll use Recipe Designer. As you can see, all of the items that you've created will be listed here. Completed recipes will then be ticked blue and incomplete with the red X. If you click on the edit function, you'll see that it will ask you to enter in a recipe name, a brief description, and how many servings this recipe makes. Ingredient description adds any ingredients to this recipe. We had to add bar 1 sauce. Type in the quantity. You could enter in the calories for this ingredient and any notes. Simply add the ingredient and you'll see it pops up. From there, you could also edit the quantity. As you can see, it's now changed. Our cost has changed, our total cost, and our GP. You can upload images. And type in instructions for this recipe to print for your kitchen or for your records. You can print from the screen or simply save. It'll ask if you want to update the item cost. Of course we do. And that's as simple as that. You can also copy recipes to existing recipes or non-existing recipes. You would simply copy to, let's say, a chopped delight, enter in your recipe name, and simply say OK. If there is a recipe there, it will obviously pop up with a box to say there's an existing recipe. Do you want to replace it, yes or no? We're going to say yes, and we're going to update our cost. So if we look at chopped delight, if we click on edit, we'll now see that our carrot cake recipe is there along with the image. You can also copy these recipes exactly the same from this link on the recipe screen. We have added a store cash app option. Basically just a cash declaration at the end of the day and somewhere obviously to enter in your float. As your day's trade happens, you'll obviously see the media splits between the cash, check, credit card, whatever you have set up, and your paid out or paid in. Your sales will also show up. You can then, at the end of the day, simply enter in the quantity of notes that you have. And you'll see your cash declared then changes. From there you can update it, reset or clear, and enter in the date that you're entering in the store cash app. There's various different settings for your coins, notes, non-cash, and if you want to set up a default float, which we have. Let's take a look at the stock manager. Here we have options to add a purchase order or simply receive your stock. If we add a purchase order, we simply select our order supplier, whether it is tax or tax exempt. Item description lists all the items and ingredients. This is the size that the ingredient is set up in under ingredient maintenance. We could change our unit value and we simply add our stock item. If you highlight the item that you have received, you could enter in, edit the quantity or the unit value or add in a discount. And you'll see it's then changed. We can also access ingredient maintenance from the screen if we need to add or edit existing ingredients. Exactly the same with item maintenance. There's an option to enter in order notes or any internal notes. If we click on Setup, you'll see there's an option to enter in your billing address and delivery address, and how you would like to receive your stock, whether you'd like the item UPC display instead of item description, or ingredients items by supplier if you are linking certain items and ingredients to a preferred supplier. Sometimes easier way to receive stock. Let's add another ingredient, another item. Sorry. If we would like to delete a received stock item, we simply highlight it and delete it. From there we can print this purchase order, preview it, or simply save it. All of our saved purchase orders will be listed here. From there, if we highlight them, we can simply receive the stock. As you can see, that was our supply that we entered in our purchase order. We now then need to put in our GRV number. We can specify which location we want to send the stock to. Click on the stock. From there you could edit the quantity if need be, receive quantity, edit the purchase cost, or simply receive the stock. From there we can process. Select your payment medias and whether you want to print the GRV or not. Receiving stock directly. From here we can specify whether it is a GRV or a credit note. Select our supplier and select the stock that we are receiving. Don't forget to enter in a reference number. Same principles apply whether you want to go to ingredient maintenance, add a new ingredient, edit an item, or add a new item. From there we can simply process our GRV. If you select a EFT media type, we'll ask you for the bank name and a reference just for future reference. Let's move on to stock takes. We've set it up so that you could set up existing stock takes, whether they be weekly, daily, monthly, whatever would suit your establishment. As you can see, if we click on one that we've already created, we simply click on capture to the stock for this stock take. As you can see, all the ingredients are listed, as well as which location they are in, the unit of measure, cost price, and the current stock on hand. You can change the date and time of the physical stock take, or specify that this stock take was captured whilst trading. If we would like to do a stock take, we simply enter in our stock under the closing stock tab. As you can see, your variance will then change and your total cost will change. From there we can save it or update it if we are finished. Let's just save it for now. As you can see, the status is then incomplete. You can edit existing stock takes by simply clicking highlighting on the stock take and editing. We want to add another item or add a location. Simply save it. To create a new stock take, simply click on New, enter in the description, specify the locations. You can choose different categories. And save that stock take. You can obviously edit it and add existing items if you would like. The status is then incomplete. You can edit existing stock takes by simply clicking highlighting on the stock take and editing. We want to add another item or add a location. Simply save it. To create a new stock take, simply click on New, enter in the description, specify the locations. You can choose different categories. And save that stock take. You can obviously edit it and add existing items if you would like. Now let's capture the stock take. As you can see, all of our items and ingredients that we've selected are appear here, and we could enter in our closing stock. And we update it. Is this a full stock take? We want to say yes, this is in regards to our stock take. There is an option to adjust your stock take that you have just completed. You simply highlight your stock take and click on adjust. And from there, you can edit your closing stock. Simply update it. We click on the settings tab. There are options here where you could use categories instead of departments, which we use. We find it a lot easier to use the categories. We can also display current stock quantities. If we take that off and the stock variance and the cost price and save that, we can then click on our stock takes. If we had to capture or print, you'll see that now those fields have disappeared for you to print for your kitchen or bar staff. Stock transfer, obviously specify the date. We are going to use our restaurant location. All of the ingredients that are assigned to this location will appear here, with ingredients that have a current stock level. We have grape Tizer white that is also assigned to the storeroom, which will appear there. We have 23 current stock. We then want to transfer 20 to the storeroom. We simply enter in our quantity there and transfer. Let's print the stock listing. As you can see on this report, our grape Tizer white, we have transferred 20 from the restaurant to the storeroom. Supplier payments. Select your supplier. Any outstanding payments will be shown below. We simply see we have an outstanding amount of R916.56, so let's pay them that. Enter in your reference. Whether there is a settlement discount. We are specifying that we are paying it in full. Specify that you are paying them in full, and you'll see that the total amount will then be shown at the bottom here. Then specify which media type it is.